All right. Back by popular demand, season two of Pod City. Um, this season we're gonna transition more over to the art entrepreneurs, because black businesses do need our support nowadays. Judging by what happened in the Capitol and whatnot, you see how racism is coming back. So we need to gear up and inspire our own and upbuild our own. So tonight we're gonna have an interview with the host of a talent show, Boston-based talent show called the It Factor, where indie artists can come in and not feel like they're wasting their time just on a hobby. They want to make this a career. So and this talent show is Boston-based, but now it's getting filmed and distributed internationally. So I think it's a good look for the podcast. It's called the It Factor. The host is called Benson the General, and we just had a good talk about the industry and how you get into it, and what are the benefits of joining the It Factor. Like knowing people, learning from people in the industry, meeting people in the industry, tips of how to people that you can meet that can help you, get to the other level of where you want to take your talents. So we're gonna be doing that, and but before that, I want to talk about I want to talk about what's going on right now, about this whole Trump presidency that we had to go through. Thank God that we're done with that for now. If we're not on top of it, he might come again. You see this guy just, sent goons to attack the Capitol, and they didn't lock him up. They don't even want to impeach him. They don't want him to have no any kind of repercussions about this or what he set out to do. He literally set out to you know kill members of the Capitol and members of Congress. So like that's this is the world we live in right now. Is why I wanted to bring up this. The point I brought this up is because I want to sound a little Kanye crazy, but the reality of the reality of life right now is that politics just need we need two more parties. We need at least two more parties. Um, what we need to do as hip hop, like I said, I'm gonna sound a little Kanye crazy, but hip hop is a culture within a culture, and that's what makes hip hop special and undeniable. Hip hop rules the world right now. You just can't deny that. And we need to start thinking about, how we can implement a hip hop party. Now, I don't know, nobody comes to mind when I say that, like to be president and hold the office. But we need to start thinking about that because, like I said, hip hop is a culture within a culture, and it's our best bet. Hip hop's the voice of the voiceless, and that's what we need right now. So without further ado, I don't like this video stuff, but this is what I gotta do with this quarantine season and to get my numbers up because my numbers is all right, on the podcast wave when it's just audioly. But I gotta level up. I gotta level up and we're gonna have some original merch coming soon. We're gonna have that. We're gonna like I said, we're gonna try to interview as many entrepreneurs as we can. We're still gonna be interviewing artists and DJs and producers, but this season I just really want to focus on entrepreneurs and give them the light and the shine that they need. But like I said, without further ado, there's the interview we filmed earlier this week. And I'm lying, earlier weeks ago that I filmed, but I got a little caught up with things. I was in New York and I came back and holidays and whatnot, and just taking my time on it. But without further ado, this is the interview with Benson the General, uh, host of the It Factor. For y'all, all y'all indie rappers that want to, you know, level up and gain some money and gain some notoriety while you're going for your dreams. There's a chance you can win up to $5,000 and continuously win $5,000 if you win if you win the talent show. So if you're really confident about your talents, hit Benson the General up at the It Factor Entertainment. That's on all social media platforms. The It Factor Entertainment. So without further ado, there's our interview with Benson the General. All right, all right, all right. Season 2 of Pod City. Tonight we're gonna have the host of the It Factor, the local talent show here in Boston. Um, we're gonna pick his brain on how you get into the industry, how you can get yourself shown, how you can earn some money. But without further ado, this is the host, Benson the General. How are you, Benson? How are you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. And it was a great Christmas. Spent time with the family. Hopefully you had a great Christmas as well. You know, we're
Merry,
doing the best we can with the situation at hand.
yeah, Merry Christmas, man. It was all right. It wasn't so bad. We had to little adapt and stuff a little bit, but
Okay.
you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what
But
it is.
back to you guys in the Ick Factor. So how are you guys doing with the whole COVID transition or the whole COVID pivot, should I say?
Oh man, this whole COVID-19 pandemic really put a lot of things on hold for a good what 8 months now, 9 months.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, ever since the whole COVID-19 hits us, we had to shut everything down. As you know, venues were shut down, and any live events were shut down. So that's our business right there. So we couldn't really get anything done, and everything we had organized, planned to do, we had to shut everything down. So um, now what we decided to do, we just had to see how the industry is working, and how to adapt to a new situation. And you know we realized virtually is the way to go. So i had I had to partner up with a live stream company where we able to host our It Factor events and in small groups, and live stream it online, where people could, even though they can't be in the venue in person, but they still be able to watch the artists and vote for them, and the same way they would if it was in person, but it's just differently. It's online now, you know.
All right.
Um, so yeah, he had to put a lot of work on us. Shout out to Miss Crystal Perry, head of director of the Effective Music Competition. Her and I've been working daily to put together the best plan, the best and healthy, safe way possible for everybody involved within the It Factor, artists, staff, production crew, all that.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's what we gotta do. We just gotta adapt, I guess, right? What can we do, man? But
I mean,
I see you guys. I see what you guys are doing. That's awesome how you guys pivoted so quickly like that. Um,
yeah, it's like I said, it really took us some time, some months to really figure all this out. Like, are we, like when the clubs, like we at first we was waiting to see, in mass, when the government's gonna allow clubs and stuff and venues to be open and stuff like that. So it seemed like instead of things are getting better, it seemed like things are getting worse. So everything's back to stage 2, I believe. So we couldn't wait any longer. We just had to just adapt to this new normal. And because at the end of the day, life still goes on, and there's opportunities out there if you learn to adapt and to do things differently than the usual.
No word. I mean, as human beings, that's what we do. We adapt. We
Right.
make the best out of what we have, man, and that's how it was for the holidays for me, anyways. Um, but yeah, let's go back to the beginnings. Let's go back to the beginnings of the It Factor. How did you come across? How did you develop the idea to have the show, and when was it?
Um, that's a great question. So the whole It Factor came about 8 years ago. Um, but the idea pop up to my head a few years, I say probably between 2009, 2010. I was just playing with the idea, because at the time I started off as a music producer. Myself and my cousin, was we was doing music production, and he was the artist that I was working with and pushing at the time. Um, but around 2008, my cousin and his older brother, suddenly had a tumor that we wasn't aware of, and he suddenly passed away. So therefore, like now, my cousin who I was doing music with had to take over the family business, was the barber shop, and now that's become his primary, you know, responsibility. And with that responsibility means he couldn't really focus and do music like he wanted to do, and that kind of put a hole into the music, you know, itself. So what I decided to do, um, I'm like, okay, I have to find a way to continue, you know, the music, continue this momentum we had, and I didn't want to go, to different cities and states and stuff like that to recruit and look for artists. But what I realized, why don't I create a platform where we bring artists to me, but not also to me, but to other people who's looking, for features, collaboration, people to work with, artists to work with, and also hopefully they win some money, because I didn't want to do any regular open mic. I didn't want to do any regular show. I wanted to create a showcase where there's competition, and within that competition you're able to win cash prize, because I know a lot of artists, and now some of the number one thing that they struggling with is funds to um, fully focus on their music career and pay for certain things. So um, a little bit of cash has definitely helped a long way, so we started out with 500, giving away 500 to the winner, and in 2012 that's when we launched the It Factor, and we started with 500 at a venue called Church in Fenway, and that venue is not even around anymore.
Hmm.
And from there, it kind of took off, you know. So now we're giving away $1,000, from 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000 cash prize to winners in this competition. So
Word, I
it's
love that. I love that about your platform. I do. I really do. Like you guys, the artists that's in here, there's a way you guys can earn money and keep doing your art without feeling like it's in vain.
right, right.
You can get into the It Factor. You can show your talents off. To matter of fact, what are the resources you have in the It Factor? Like how like I'm sure you help the artists, you know what I'm saying, when you see some talent.
So as artists, if you want to sign up for the It Factor, you want to compete, you could check our websites, hit us on our website, www.itfactorent.com, or our social media pages, which is It Factor Showcase on Facebook, um on Twitter, same thing, It Factor Showcase, or on my personal page, Benson the General. Or you can also hit up Miss Crystal Perry, the head of director of the It Factor, um, and then send us a small mini bio about yourself and a YouTube video if you have one. If you don't have a YouTube video, if you're just a brand new artist, send something you singing a straight a cappella, or if you're a rapper, you rapping over a instrumental or a cover, anything so we could see what you're working with. Um, because this is real money we're giving out, and this is, for artists who really want it. If you're doing music for a hobby, I would not recommend you do the A Factor, because we're looking for artists who's doing this, who take this serious, who's looking for that extra push to get them
Right.
to that next level.
Right.
You
Don't
know,
take it away from people that are really trying to make this a career.
exactly,
Now,
exactly.
once you see talent in these artists, who are the people that are like keeping track of the X Factor? Like you got DJs there, you got some A&Rs, you got people that can refine their talents. Because
Yes,
I'm
yes,
sure you get a lot of raw talent in there. You know.
yes. We definitely got DJs, A&Rs, and just a lot of industry people who just, every now and then hit us up when they see certain artists, like, who's so and so, if he or she signed, or who she working with and stuff like that, or if we got get them major radio interviews for certain artists who've been on the competition, photo shoot, video shoot, magazine interviews and stuff like that. So there's a lot of other perks that come with them being in the A Factor besides winning money. You
Right,
know,
right, right. That's what I love about your platform because Boston needs it. Boston needs there's a lot of talent out here, and this is why I started Pod City as well. We
right,
had a little hiccup, between the years, but I guess I should have kept going. But consistency is really like a key, and that's
right.
why I'm kind of back by popular demand. They say just started back up, so that's why I'm kind of rebranding, and I'm thinking about having guest hosts, not just regular
Right.
hosts, because people think like podcasting is like, oh, you're gonna just make money right away. You don't actually,
And you
and
got to build an audience. You got to
yeah,
build
you gotta
that.
build an audience. You gotta, get a certain amount of downloads before things start to snowball. And
Right.
and you can't be on here thinking it's for fame. Just come in here, ask some valid questions that the guests would like to hear. That's
Audience.
where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to transition more to the entrepreneurship of
Right.
the town, because I think that's where I should be.
And truth be told, you on the right track, man. Sometimes you gotta take a step back to make a big step forward. To understand what your
What you're
platform,
getting
your
into.
industry, your lane, and make that big step forward. So you only lose when you quit, and you took a small break and you coming back strong, man. I'm proud of you as well for continuing the podcast, because I think it's a great platform for not only people like myself who need people like you, but other artists as well who need a platform like this to tell their story, tell the world or the people where they could find them, reach them at. So salute to you as well, bro.
Salute, salute. King to a king. But
That's right.
ask more questions. What do you think about the music industry right now? Like, how do people should go about it? Like, should they really focus on their social media game more than trying to get signed?
I think it's all depends on your team. It really depends on your team. If you're an artist, if you're an independent artist who got a solid team behind you, and you got the funds, I think it's up to you to really go, you know, create your own lane and let the labels come to you. You know. Now, if you're an artist who don't have a team, don't have a strong media game, then there's nothing wrong getting a record deal. Now people, I see a lot of people, talking down on record deals. There's nothing wrong getting a record deal. It's a great thing if you're able to get a record deal. Just understand what you're signing,
Well, you,
at the end of the day.
that's for sure. That's for sure.
Right,
Um, yeah, because it's like that's gonna be a follow up question to like streaming. Like
right.
streaming has put a big major uh pivot on the industry. Like right now, everybody's trying to figure out what's Drake gonna do because he's pretty much the biggest artist in every genre, and
Right.
like it's just gonna be it's gonna get weirder, man. If if you
I mean,
don't know how to
definitely,
adapt.
like, definitely, like, social media have a big influence on how everything moves, because, you know, like I said, if you have funds and you got a strong social media presence, you don't really need a major, to put you to that next put you out there. Now, if there's something, certain clout, certain levels you have to reach, it'd be great to have a major behind you. The major labels, and they still play an important role. However, you know they're not the all in of everything nowadays. you know. So like with Facebook, Instagram, IG, and YouTube and all that, you know, artists with a strong social media numbers still able to make money, if they have the business end of things situated.
I agree because the label part of everything is pretty much for the distribution factor. If you have all the streaming platforms right now, like you
Right,
really don't need that necessarily. It's good to do what Dave East is doing with Nas and Mass Appeal,
right,
where you know he can get the ins and out of the industry, but still be
and
have his social media presence and have his thing streamed.
right. Like I said, it really all depends on the artist and themselves. How motivated they are about getting things done themselves, or if they have that strong um social media game and a team. Really, you definitely need a team to help you know get you out there. you know in this business, it's hard to be a one-man army.
Yeah,
So
right.
um having a support cast definitely help.
All right. So what's the future of the it factor now? Now that you opened up your eyes that or opened up the brand to notice that you can do things internationally now. Now that you're on the internet, like mainly.
Well, that's another great question, because before this whole pandemic happened, we were on the verge getting things on television. We were on TV last year. Shout out to New NTV and New and Mass. New TV and New and Mass. They were broadcasting our shows last season. So this season, before the whole pandemic happened in 2020, the goal was to expand to different states. So we had things planned and organized to do from Boston to Atlanta. You know, the best from Boston go against the best in Atlanta. So that's what we were like trying to expand to that state. And but because of the whole pandemic, we had to put all that to a drop and change everything we were doing. And now, moving forward to this new normal, um, we really haven't, think ahead of where the It Factor will go virtually right now. But our focus right now is to see how well this online virtual shows live streaming thing goes. And from there, we'll see if it's something we will continue doing virtually, or do we want to go back to the old ways where we travel to different state in person. But honestly, I think this kind of opened a whole new ball game
It really
to
did.
to our industry, because with the whole virtual, like, you don't really have to travel to perform for somebody in another state or another country, so like I said, if this season goes well, I think this is definitely something we're looking to do more in the future, not only for the music but also for dance as well, because we also do dance competition, the effective dance competition as well. So
Yeah, you
it's
was
definitely something
mentioning
we're
that.
looking into.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'm very interested in that. That's awesome. Like I had an idea for I had an idea for the podcast, like trying to big up like old like a segment, like trying
Uh-huh.
to big up old mixtapes and old old mixtape tracks where I can have somebody break dance or something like that. I don't have the room right now. Actually, I'm working on a little studio right now, so
Okay. Okay.
that's what got me pushing to do more right now and throw out more content. Um, but yeah, I mean, what can
That's
I
really
ask
cool.
you right now? What do you think about the music scene here in Boston? Like, how do you like? Sometimes you might suggest an artist to work with another artist. Is it hard?
Um, I mean, I guess right now with the whole pandemic, it's probably a little bit harder. But as for like the music itself, for artists to work with others, I don't think it shouldn't be that hard for anyone to really work with someone if you feel in that person, artist music or whatever, their style, whatever. I feel the music scene, the talent here is very strong. You know, I feel like the talent here in Boston and the whole New England itself is very strong. I just feel like they're lacking two things. They're lacking the work ethic and funds, you know, to really push themselves the way they would like to be pushed. And also they're lacking the work ethic to really put in the necessary work to get them to where they to get them to the level that they should be or they're trying to get to. I think that's what a lot of these artists really that's what's holding them back. You know, them putting that proper work ethic to get them to get their art to get themselves out there more, and also the lack of funds to pay for certain things. Because I think marketing is key to me. I think you could have the best music or the wackest music, but if you got money to market yourself properly, then you gonna create a fan base for yourself, because we seen and heard artists that's not very good blow up. you know
Right.
so it's all about how well you market yourself and the kind of budget you have set to put behind yourself.
Right. You're absolutely right with that. Now, there was a little discussion a few months back about how Massachusetts artists, people that are out of Boston, don't want to be known as Boston artists. Now, do you think that that's
Oh,
how do you feel about that? Actually, like how do you feel about that? Us being Bostonians and we have that ego, and it's always been like that. You know, even when you're international, you can say you're from Cambridge or you can say you're from Brockton. People don't know that, they'll know Boston. You know what I mean? So,
I
like,
think
give me an egoless type of response to that. You know, because us being Bostonians, you know.
so. You saying people when they go out of state, they're not confident enough to say they're from Boston?
No, it's just like they like the whole scene over here is called the Boston music scene. You know, like that's what
Right.
out of towners like out of staters.
No,
You
right.
know what I
They
mean?
know
That's what
Boston,
they look at us like. Even if it's from Brockton, even if it's from Randolph, even if they're from Lynn, like people think of it as a Boston scene. Now, do you think that that should change over to, like Millie said, it should be the mass, music
Well,
scene?
I think that the I don't really see how and why this should be a problem, because Boston is the capital. You know,
Yeah,
Boston is the major is the major city in Massachusetts. So when you go out of state, you know, most 90 to 99, almost 100% of people know is Boston. Not a lot of people are familiar with Brockton,
true.
Waltham, Cambridge, Somerville, Malden. None people they're not familiar with these cities. They know Boston. You know, so A&Rs, you tell an A&R where you from, what part of Mass you're from. You're gonna say Boston because okay, oh, so you're from Massachusetts, you're from Boston, but on your resume, you should definitely put what city you resign at. I think if you meet someone for the first time and you out of town, let's say you in Houston or Atlanta, you know, you're gonna be like, I'm from Boston, Mass.
Because
But on your resume or bio, you should really put down, look, I'm an up and coming artist from Brockton or from Cambridge, you know, so people really understand, okay, where you from, you know. Um, it's just like somebody who's from Worcester, you know. I don't think they're going to say they're from Boston. I think they will say they're from Worcester because that's a different part of, you know, Mass.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't, I don't think it should be a problem as long the person, come correct. But I think the reason, like,
They're
people
trying
may
to break
have an issue
away.
with it.
Trying to break away. Like, and that's cool because is what, like, I had that question earlier about Boston and like how they don't want to work with each other, and just that ego thing about it. And if you notice, like, these people from Worcester, and these people from Lynn, and these people from Cambridge, they actually working with each other real fine, unlike us. You know what I mean? But you have a
Exactly.
point. You
So
have a point. Like, I want to finish this point because something I just, like, I just learned from the Boston Bruins logo.
Right.
You know how it's just the B with the spokes in it?
Yeah.
Like that's what that means. Is like, you know, we're the main city and everybody comes from everywhere else from New England
Exactly.
into
You know,
Boston.
I mean, that's kind of how I look at it, you know, because it's like when you go to a different country, you know, like to the islands and stuff, not many people know Boston. They know New York or
But tell me
LA.
about it, right? And we hate that shit,
You
right?
know?
Oh my god.
Right.
That's why people gotta get the fuck out this country. They gotta
Right. You
travel.
know?
They gotta travel. Cause we called New York all the time, yo.
Right. You
Shit.
know? So
You're
it's
Haitian, I'm
really
Dominican. I know what it is. They
right. You know what I'm saying?
don't
So
know
it's kind of
Boston.
the
Or what
same.
Boston, yeah, yeah. That's the borough of
Exactly.
New
It's kind
York.
of like it's kind of like you more often to say the state or city, you know, the person more familiar with, you know,
Yeah,
just to keep conversation short. You
right.
know what I'm saying? But if you get to know the person, then of course you're gonna let them know where you're from and stuff like that. But I just think when you first meet a person, it's easier to just say the state or city you think they're more familiar with. You know, it's just to keep things going. Um, but as for like Boston artists working with other artists within Len or Revere or Cambridge or Worcester, like I don't see why these artists shouldn't be. They should be working with each other, you know, because that's how you tap into another fan base, really, in my opinion. So,
My dude, it's like
um,
pulling teeth. It's like pulling teeth on my platform, anyways. Like I listen to somebody, I'm like, yo, you'll sound good on, you know what I mean, on homies track. Like, you know, y'all can
right,
pretty much trade fans and you know make
exactly,
your
you know,
brand
like,
bigger. People don't see it
and,
that
and
way
I'm
though.
glad. I'm glad you mentioned that because in the competition, the A Factor music competition, like I have something called like every week. I mean, every different show we have a challenge. You know, we challenge artists. You know, so we have a collaboration week challenge where they have to go find another artist outside the competition to work with to do a feature performance with. You know what I'm saying? Because in the business, you have to know how to politic and how to work with different people who's not your crew, who's not your friend. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So whether you have to reach to their management or to the artist themselves, you just have to find a professional way to go about things and to make it work. Because at the end of the day, we all in the same lane, we all in the same boat. We're all trying to get that, you know, to that next level. And if you could scratch his bag and he scratched your bag and help each other out, it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, okay. So what would be your advice for somebody that's like let's say in their 30s and they're trying to get into the industry, but they got talent, they just never had the courage to do it. Like what would you recommend? You know what I'm saying? After they sharpen their
So
skills, you know what I mean?
So someone in their 30s, I mean, things happen. You get what I'm saying? So I
Right.
would never tell somebody to, oh, you 30, you 40, you know, give it up, bro, or give it up, you know,
Yeah, for
like,
real.
what I would tell them is learn the business, you know, learn the business side of things, because even if you're not the best, there's other ways to make money of this industry, just besides being the face. And what I mean by the face, like you don't always have to be the artist. You know, writers get money too, producers get money too, managers get money too. You know, like there's other ways you could help publicists, be in the PR. Like all these people make money too of this industry. You know, so um now if your thing is if you really if you're a really good rapper or a really good singer, you feel like that's your ticket, then by all means go for it. You know what I'm saying? But
You
work
should.
hard at it. You know, and like I said, work hard at it. Get professional people to help you. You know, don't get your boys or people you think is gonna agree with everything you say or everything you do. Really, because you have to realize you against the clock. You're in your 30s and pushing 40s and stuff. You're against the clock, so you really have to put your all into this project to make sure. And really, all you really need is one or two good songs if you're an artist. You know, you don't really need a whole album until
Inconsistency.
you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You just really need one good song, maybe two, but really one good song, and put your all behind that song, push it, and see where it goes. That's what I would tell. I would never tell anybody to quit or give up if things don't happen to you as fast as others. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you know you don't know what that person had to go through, you know, and why they had to stop or whatever case may be.
And look,
So
Yeah, and
But
look at how the industry switched, like the rap industry, like the rap we used to listen to in the 80s and the 90s, like the golden era, like shit, like I don't know about you, but when I was in middle school, I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna write like the Locks? I'm never gonna be able to write like the Locks. What the fuck? Are you out of your mind? Like, no, like what you hear what the fuck they saying? Like DMX. You hear what the fuck they saying? And then look at the industry now. It's like boom. So everybody's just like, damn, I want to jump in. I've been writing for a while anyways. Like, I want to jump in.
but
I
that's
met
the
a few
thing, you know
people
what I'm
that,
saying? Like everybody, just everyone, if you have a style, just be yourself. I will always tell artists, don't try to copy or do how this person's doing what they're doing to get them where they at. Because if you not if you think you can't do what that person do, just be yourself. The best way to do things is to be authentic and to be yourself and let that shine. You get what
word,
I'm
like
saying?
I had a couple of I got a couple of friends that that they know like I've heard a lot of people locally and in New York as well. Like that's why I'm trying to expand to New York too. I'm about to go down there for New Year's and try to reconcile some
That's
relationships
dope.
I had.
That's
And
what's up.
yeah, like what I would say is like they got something to say. They've been telling me, yo, I got something to say. Us, I want to help these children. And I'm like, yo, you know what? Just off the fact that you said something like that, you want to help these children. Like, I'm gonna push you as long as you're consistent. And as long as you're showing talent, because there's a lot of people that need that push too. I'm about the youth, man. I'm not just about like my age group.
No, definitely, man. The youth is the future, and like I said, when before I started the Air Factor, like one of the person that kind of like motivate me to continue to create this platform was Kenny Lattimore. Kenny Lattimore was out here at Berkeley with a few other industry people, doing a meeting, whatever. And afterwards, had a talk with him about, what do you think it Boston artists or Boston scene is lacking, so the industry could give Boston more respect musically. And what he said was like Boston need a place where A&Rs and industry people could know where to come to find talent,
Right.
and talent is the youth. Our youth is the next generation, So if we could help these guys, the youth, if we could help them, give them a platform to showcase their talent and master their craft, then they should be able to open, doors for future generations.
Right,
So
right. Like I said on my previous season is Boston was the gateway for hip hop, man. Like we had the source.
oh, definitely, like
That's what
that.
we was the gateway. Like that was our position in the
And I
industry.
believe, and truth be told, I believe we still are. Because if you look at the
We are.
industry, all the major artists come here for tours. Like all the major universities is right in our backyard. Like so. Like I said, Boston is known for major things. This is a major city, major sports. So all the major artists come here to tour and they do concerts and stuff like that. I think once we able to, have a few artists out here crack the bubble and make it mainstream, like the Jordan Lucases and stuff, and people like that.
Love joining.
And and shout out to my guy Spoke Bojo, who recently got a deal with MMG.
Right, yeah. Shout outs to him.
And
I've
stuff,
been hearing for him
right?
for a long time. I've been listening to him since what?
For real. So I think people like them, and there's a few others, there's a few others out there who getting deals and making power move as well. The Millers and stuff like that. So I think people like those artists,
Yeah.
who's Mills, you know what I'm saying? Those artists who's creating their own lane and getting those major people, industry people behind them. I think now the Boston scene, not just Boston, but the whole New England, will get more respect from the industry A&Rs and industry people.
What would you say about like now that you mentioned Jordan Lucas? Jordan, we need to speak about that man right now because I want to give him his flowers. Just
Definitely,
the way how
definitely.
he's going about in the industry, and he's just like a pure artist. He's original. Like when I hear Jordan Lucas, his name is like he's just original, man. He's just an original
I
artist.
mean,
I know
truth
like he
be
got so
told,
many thoughts in his head.
like,
He
truth
reminds me
be
of
told, truth be told, like I don't want to say it to sound biased or anything, but he's definitely my top 5 rappers right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way he carry himself and the way his delivery and the music and the record he did with Will Smith, and I mean Will Smith blessed that remix. You know what I'm saying? So to have that connection and that respect is, he's he got a very bright future, man, and I salute him for open doors for people like us.
I really do because he doesn't let his artistry get how would you call it, get infected by the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like what the
Right.
youth is doing. Like I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna
He's
big up the
being
people that
himself,
influence
and that's
me.
what I tell people: be yourself. Like that's the best way you could go about it is just be yourself. Because if you go in there and doing and something that you're not, then at some point you're just gonna fade out. But if you stay you, be you, then you got a chance of being in this business for a long time.
And you know what? Like, and back to him. Like, I just can't. Like, I got so much to say about him right now. That track, "I'm Not Racist," was like his breakthrough track. Like that was like his undeniable. That's what I say about these artists that's coming up. Like, be undeniable. Just be undeniable, bro. Like you got a lot of music, but be undeniable. Stop tracing. Stop tracing other people's content.
Right,
If
right,
you do, you can pitch from here. You can borrow from here, from there. Give people their props. But the top of artistry, like me, I'm a painter and I'm a sketcher. So like I can't just paint something that's Basquiat. I can paint something that's Basquiat influenced, but
right.
I don't feel comfortable just painting like something like that's blatantly plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody like
Right.
like it's sometimes
Right. You wanna
the
be more
audience knows.
creative and go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, the audience. Like, what I'm saying is that the audience knows, like when you're tracing. So
Right, right. You know, like I said, it's always to be you. Use your imagination. Be creative with your art, whether it's music, art, or anything artistic you're doing. Is
and you're
to
selling
use that
yourself short.
creativity. That's all it is.
Right, right.
But yeah, like I said, I definitely salute you for your podcast, and I think I think people like yourself also will open doors for not only people like myself, but up and coming artists or artists who's doing things right now because they need that platform to showcase their music and their brand. So I definitely salute you, man.
Salute to you also. But yeah, let's just try to end this. Plug the It Factor one more time.
So everybody who's listening right now or will be listening, like I said, once again, I'm Benson the General. I'm the founder of the Air Factor Music Competition, this music competition and dance competition as well. This is something we've been doing for about 8 seasons now. Where we give away cash prize to the winners of the competition. We started out in 2012 and we're still going strong in 2020. And we've been giving away anywhere from $500 to $5,000. So if you're an artist out there, whether you're a singer, rapper, musician, and of course dancer, if you want to sign up, you could hit us up at teameverlast@gmail.com, or itfactorlive, ENT@gmail.com. I would recommend more you hit the itfactorlive, ENT@gmail.com, because that's the main email that myself and Miss Crystal Perry, the head of director of the Air Factor, we check that to see who's contacting us. Or you could also call us at 774-712-5540. 774-712-5540 with your name and, of course, what you're calling for, dance or singing, rapping, and let us know. All right.
What
We're
if
also on Facebook. It Factor Showcase on Facebook, on IG, It Factor Showcase on IG, Twitter, everything It Factor Showcase. Our next competition is January 16th. All right. So if you think you got a song, whether it's an original song or a cover song, If you got anything you feel like you could compete to win yourself some money, contact us and get on our next show. That's January 16th, and we will also name a winner who's going to win some money that particular show as well.
So it's every Friday.
So no, it's every 2 to 3 weeks we have a show because we had to break each show into 2 shows because of the whole pandemic. We can't have too many people in the building.
Okay.
So we had to break one show into 2 shows. So the next show will be January 16th, and the one after that will be, I believe, February 13th.
Now, what if you wanted to be just a spectator?
If you want to be a spectator, like I said, contact us and let us know you just want to be a guest performer, and then we'll give you a time spot of of whatever show that you
No,
can.
meaning just an audience member.
Audience member want to be to watch the show.
Just to watch the show.
Oh yeah, to watch the show, like I said, you could go on our website or on our social media page. There's a link. You click on that link, you purchase a ticket, and you get to watch the show and vote for the best performer.
All right. And to all those sharks out there, give my man Benson and the It Factor the benefit of the doubt. If you find somebody you like, you know what I'm saying? Big them up. But yeah, we're gonna end this. I'm gonna thank you, and I'm gonna thank you for your platform. I'm gonna thank you for doing this interview with us, and I'm looking forward for a lot of great more things, man. Like you're doing what you do, man. Thank
awesome. You, brother. Thank you. I appreciate the time and the work that you put it in. I also want to give a shout out to everybody involved with the It Factor who helped keep this show going. Royal Productions. We use the studio for the live streaming. Again, Crystal Perry, the head of director. I don't know how much I could thank you for your work, for the time that you put in. Brittany, everybody out there who ever help or host or anything with the It Factor, I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys, and I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and hopefully a great, better New Year in 2021.
Yeah, tell me about it, bro. There's good for us, though, man. There's good for us, man. Don't worry about it, man. There's good for us. It got us working in a whole different way, man. But thank you, man. Right. We'll talk. We'll talk, man.
All right, bro. Have a good one. Thank you.